Hi guys, welcome to the Lares Studios. We'll be building a mobile app together. Most of us can relate to kicking back on the couch and enjoying a movie with friends and family. We'll be building an app that allows users to discover the most popular movies playing, and we're going to split the development process into different stages. Firstly, we're going to present the user with a grid arrangement of movie posters upon launch. We're going to allow users to change sort order via a setting. That is, the sort order can be most popular or by highest rated. We're going to allow the users to tap on a movie poster and transition to a detail screen with additional information such as original title, movie poster, image thumbnail, a plot synopsis, user rating, and release date. What's the essence of this project or this application we are about building together? To become an Android developer, you must know how to bring particular mobile experiences to life. Specifically, you need to know how to build clean and compelling user interfaces, fetch data from network services, and optimize the experience for various mobile devices. You will earn these fundamental skills in this project we're creating. And we're going to learn several things, and we're actually going to be fetching data from the internet with the MovieDB API. You will use adapters and custom list layout to populate list view, and you're going to incorporate libraries, to simplify the amount of code we're going to write. And we're going to be using some specific libraries. Firstly, we'll be using Retrofit for network calls, and also the Retrofit converter JSON to convert to JSON. We're going to be using Glide to load images easily. We're going to be using the Android support design, whereby when we need to use probably coordinator layout, or we need to use a Recyclerview. And we're also going to be using the card view. We might also be using Picasso as well, But the major focus libraries I'll be using is Retrofit, Glide, Recyclerview, and card view. Without much ado, I would like us to move straight to the movies database. This you have to go to this URL, www.themoviedb.org. You get to see this interface. If you're new with the MovieDB API, I would like you to sign up. Get your API key. You need the API key to call different data. Probably you want to call the most popular movies in the stores or in the box, or you want to call the most rated movies. You need to have an API key. So go through this login, sign up, and get your API key. Once you have that, just save that somewhere, and I'll be showing you the API calls that will be needed. Firstly, you need to point to the api.themoviedb.org/3/movie/popular. That's for popular movies. And the query, which is the question mark that you can see there, calling the API key. So inside there, you need to pass your API key over here. And at the same time, please don't expose your API keys publicly, because this is going to actually breach the terms and conditions that you'll be having with the MovieDB. So once you have this, you're going to have this bunch of JSON files, and you need to consume them. That is for the popular. And at the same time, you need for the top rated movies, just the same URL, but you need to just change the popular to top rated and key in your API key. And I actually use a JSON formatter or a code beautify to actually let us read that JSON, bunch of JSON file, which is modeled up, and we get to read it cleanly at the right portion they're saying right there. So if you should notice, we have a page, we have the results. It's right there in the results that houses the arrays of each movies. Whereby in each key value PS, first key is the poster part, adult, overview, release date, genre IDs, the ID of the movie, original title, original language, the title of the movie, backdrop path, popularity, vote count, the video, and also the vote average of each movie in the results of the popular movies right there in the MovieDB API. So these are the data that we'll be consuming, and I'll be walking you through on how to actually develop these and create a movie app which will be top-notch UI. So from here, I'll be going straight to Android Studio. So let me minimize my screen to have Android Studio set up right there. So I'm actually going to start a new Android Studio project, and I will be naming it. I'm going to start a new Android Studio project. Let's call it the MovieDB or the movie app. Movie app. Movie app. And I would like it to sit right there in my documents. That's fine. Click next. Click next. So I'm going to go for an empty activity. Click next. Fine. Let's maintain main activity and activity main for the layout. So we click finish. I'm actually going to be breaking these tutorials into modules so that it's not going to be undue lengthy, and I really want my viewers to catch every bit I mean of this process, so it's actually for you and it's for your learning. I really want you to stick glued to this, and I want you to follow along. Once it's start up, don't go anywhere, just stick with it. If you code with me, don't keep watching the movie or keep watching the video. So you will actually learn a lot more better when you code along with me. Pause, when you need to pause, and just don't watch long like that. So I have the structure of this app called the movie app, and the first thing is to add our dependencies. We're actually going to be needing a couple of dependencies. We'll be needing support design. We're going to be needing Recyclerview, CardView, Glide, Retrofit, and probably Picasso. So I'll actually be heading straight to the Gradle script, the build Gradle, the model app, and I would like to integrate. The first level is going to be the Android support design. So compile, Android support. Let's maintain what we have with the app compact 0.3.1, and I'm going to have the Recyclerview compile, Android support Recyclerview. Now it's going to be version 7, 25.3.1. I'm going to have the CardView compile, com.dot Android support CardView version 7, 25.3.1. And we'll be looking at Glide compile, com.dot GitHub, the boom tech, Glide. It should be darts, no comma. Glide, it's called a version Glide 3.7.0, and we're actually going to be including Retrofit compile, com.square Retrofit 2, Retrofit 2.1.0, And also we're going to call the converter, which actually converts to JSON. This time I'm going to make little adjustments here. I'm going to call the converter. JSON. That's fine. So these are the dependencies that we'll be using. So you click on sync now to actually sync Gradle and get your application set. We have our application sync successfully. Now I'm going to start from the rest and not the layout now. From the values, I'll pick the colors. Let's specify the colors I'll be using in this application. Apart from the three defaults we have, we're going to include 1 up to 2 or 3. So let's have that done. Color with a name of view BG. And what color code are we having here? Ash. Let's have F1, F5, F8. So that's the color we're having. And then let's have another one. Color. We'll call this movie title. And we're going to make this for C, for C, for C. Let's have another one. Color. Name. Call this white. FFF. That's fine. Let's go to the dimension. It's highly recommended to get your dimension set, get your color set, get your string set, get your style set. Don't add code values in your layout. Don't add code values. It's better to do it this way so that you won't get your layout files messed up or muddled up. Now let's have the first dimension that will be adding. We call this movie I2 padding. .10 dp. So I'll just copy this so that we just have replica. We'll change the values we have right there. This will be movie title, no padding. And it's going to take 15 dp. It's going to be movie cover height. We'll call it cover height. And this is going to be taking 160 dp. It's going to be card movie radius. And this is going to take just 0 dp. And we're going to have the card margin. And this is going to take 5 dp. We're going to have user rating, padding bottom, .5 dp. It's going to be user rating, off. And we're going to have detail backdrop height. this is going to be 500 dp. We have layout margin left 10 dp, layout margin top 3 dp, layout margin top 2, call this one 10 dp, and we have the padding layout. Our this is going to be 16 dp. So we've set all dimension that will be used in this application. So it's better you do this way. And let's set all the strings as well. We need to set all the strings. Apart from the app name, we're going to need a couple strings. Now we have the action settings, which will actually be for the settings. We need for the name of movie, which will be movie title. We're going to need movie details. Plot. As a plot synopsis. We need user rating, other rating, for release date, and sort orders. We get to use this one later on in the settings. We are trying to sort by popular, highest, and so on. Get to use that. Reference, sort order level, order sort order. We have ref, sort order key, sort order, we have for the popular, most popular, order the most popular, and the last one is going to be for the highest. Rated, which is highest rated. That's fine. That's for the strings. Let's get to look at the styles. Once we're done with this, we'll get to be calling them easily. Won't be running error here and there. Styles. Let's create the style for that's going to be for the no action bar. Call the app name no action bar. Close it right there. And we have the fourth item with the name of window action bar. Pass that to false. And this time window no title. Title. Pass through this. That's fine. We're going to have for the app theme overlay style app theme app bar overlay. Now we call the parents theme overlay dark action bar. On the style app theme pop-up overlay parent theme overlay app compact light. That's fine. So we set all values needed in this application. We'll actually be creating arrays later on, XML preferences later on. We can easily concentrate now on the layout files. So right there in the layout file, we have the activity main, which is the launcher UI. So let's start with that. Our activity main is going to take a kind of different dimension. We're going to actually have this as Android. We want to call on the swipe refresh layout, which is actually from the support design we integrated earlier. We call the support version 4 widget a swipe refresh layout, so that once the user drags down, that was going to be a kind of loading button to actually load or refresh the contents being called. So that's just what that's going to do. So we have the layout with tonight match parent, and we need to assign an ID. Very important, Android ID. Just actually going to be an ID main content. That's fine. Padding bottom, left, right, we just don't need that for now. We also don't need the context. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to only maintain an Android background. What about we call color white. Fine. And now a text view. No, we don't need a text view. We'll just need to include the content of this layout. This include layout equals. Now we're going to call the layout, which will be content main. We get to create that after declaring this. So now let's create the layout. New layout resource. We call that content main XML, strike OK. We're going to have a content main. Now go to text. There's a linear layout. We need to change this to relative. Let's have a relative so that we can easily put in side by side. Drop this down. We have the layout with an height, match parent. We're going to actually give, instead of this orientation, let's take this out. Let's continue with the attributes. Let's have the background, Android background. Color BG, okay, view BG. That's the background we need. And let's give app layout behavior we need to import this. Enter, import that. Layout behavior equals, hereby we call the string. App bar scrolling view behavior. That's kind of behavior we want. And we'll be specifying the tools context. Need to import this as well. Or the tools context, which is calling the main activity, which is calm. That should be Delaware Studios. Let me get to look at it. Okay. Delaware Studios movie app main activity. That's what it's calling. And now we need to show it in which layout. Tools, showing the activity main. That's where it's going to be showed. And see, change the kind of background, because that's not a standalone layout. It's actually connected to the activity main. Android layout margin tab. Let's give it margin tab. Margin left, margin tab. There you go. Layout margin tab. There we go. So we're actually going to assign 16dp to that, or let's just give the vertical margin to that, because we have our vertical margin to be 16dp. That's nice. So that's just how to go about. And right inside this layout, we're going to call the Android support version 7 widgets Recyclerview. We need Recyclerview. Assign an ID, Android ID, at ID Recycler. View. We need Android layout width, match parent, Android layout height, wrap content, and Android clip to padding to be set to false. We also need Android scroll bars. So it's going to have a vertical scroll bar. Beautiful. That's going to be the content main of the main activity. That's fine. We're going to have a kind of detail page, whereby it's going to actually hold on to the click of grid item on the layout. So we must have a detail page according to the requirements that were needed in creating the full structure of this app. So we're going to have activity detail as a detail page. Go to text. I'm going to make this slightly fast. Now we're going to use a coordinator layout. All this can be made possible using the Android support design. Now we're going to have Android support design widgets coordinator layout. Okay, and we're going to actually assign an ID. Take away this orientation. Android ID. We call that main content. Beautiful. And we're going to give a background. Android background. Color white. And we're going to call the Android fit system windows to be true. That's fine. So right inside here, we're going to have the app bar layout. We're going to integrate a widget called collapsing toolbar layout, whereby the picture, let's say the poster part of a movie, we have a collapsing effect, while scrolling. It's going to be beautiful. Just let us implement it and you're going to see how it's going to work. Android support design widgets app bar layout. Assign an ID. App bar. Android layout. Width. Match parent. Android layout height. This time we're going to call the dimension at dimension detail backdrop height. We specify that to be 500 pixels. You can see that a full stretch. And Android, that's how our detail page is going to look like. Fit system windows to be true. And we're going to call the theme. We're going to be the theme. We call the star. We've created that. Star. Now we're going to call the theme overlay app compact dark action bar. Sorry, dark action bar. That's for the theme. And we are not going to close it completely, because right inside there, that's where the collapsing toolbar layout is going to sit. So we still continue with the design. Now we're going to have the Android support design widgets collapsing toolbar layout. Assign an ID. Call that collapsing toolbar. And the layout width. Match parent. And the layout height. match parent, Android fit system windows, true. We now call app content screen, called attributes, called primary, called app. These are all attributes, expanded rather. Title, margin, and let me just import the margin end to be 64 dp. Going to have another one, app expanded title, margin starts 48 dp. And we're going to have app expanded title text appearance. So it's going to have a title bar with a text. Now we call the color, call at Android color transparent. Yep. Last attribute, app layout scroll flags, which will be scroll or exit until collapsed. So those are the attributes needed. And right inside the collapsing toolbar, we're going to have a relative layout. So the image view will be housed inside the collapsing toolbar layout. Layout tonight, wrap content. Let's wrap content. As for the relative layout, hope you understand what's happening. We're trying to create an image, to have the effect of the collapsing layout, so that it can be scrolled to expand and scrolled to collapse. That's just what we're trying to do. Image view. What about layout tonight match parent? Quickly assign an ID, very important. Android ID. Called thumbnail. Image header. Take away this view. Now we're going to have Android fits system windows to be true, and Android scale type center crop. Let's centralize the image, and we're going to add a parallax, very important. Layout, collapse mode, which will be parallax. If you've done something related to parallax on web, this is on mobile, Android to be specific, when you have a parallax effect, as if the smooth scroll is just going to have a smooth scroll of an image, a big image, and its scroll is collapsed perfectly, and so on. So That's just it. Right inside this relative layout, we're going to have the toolbar. Android. This is a kind of complex UI, but once you get how it works, you flying widget, toolbar. Send an ID. Toolbar. Layout it tonight. With match parent. Layout height. It's gonna be call the attributes. We call the action bar size. And we give attribute of layout collapse mode. Pin it, parallax, pin it so that it's going to stay. Toolbar will stay. Pop-up theme, call the style. So you can decide to change the style, probably the color of the app, or the toolbar, and so on. Theme overlay, app compact light. Call that, and from there we have the collapsing toolbar, layout, closed. You also need to close the app bar layout right there. So that's just it. So right inside this layout, we're going to pass the real content. Now this is just for the header, which is the poster, but we need to pass in the plot synopsis. We need to pass in the user rating. We need to pass in few contents as well. So we actually house that inside. So it's this just making your layout easy to read, not modeling everything up. Layout equals. So we are having a separate layout to undo that. Content detail. We're going to call it content detail. Layout, content detail yet to be created. Good. So I'm going to create that quickly. For that, content detail. Here we go. Now in our content detail, that's where we're going to specify other aspects, the release date, user rating, so on. So let's just have that set. Once we have the set, we get to have the card. That's all. We're heading to a solid ground when it comes to creating our movie application. It should be relative. Drop this down and take the vertical out so it's not going to be confusing. Now we're going to have the background, color, view BG. Right, we get to have the app layout behavior. Let's import the app so this is going to be equals to string, and we're going to call the app bar scrolling view behavior. What else are we going to have? We call the choose contexts. Let's import this. Equals. Now come that Delaware Studios. We're going to call the detail page. I'm still add this, but I'm going to change this to detail activity. It's not pointing to the main activity, it's pointing to the detail activity. Yeah, to create that. And it should show just the way we did in the main activity. It should show tools, showing the layout, activity detail. That's what we're going to show. So we're going to continue working. So it's showing the detail, so it's just going to be a subset of the activity detail. Now we're going to have a scroll view. Layout with tonight, match parent, also match parent. So right inside the scroll view, it's going to house all the functionality. So it's going to first of all house the linear layout, layout with tonight, match parent, and we need an Android orientation. Android orientation, vertical. Cool. Right inside the linear layout, we get to have a text view. First text view, match parent, width, height, wrap content. It goes along with an ID, Android ID, and this time we're going to give it movie title. So we're specifying each component, movie title, and we're going to give Android layout margin left equals to we have values for that layout, which is actually going to be the dimension, dimensions, and we're going to call the layout margin left, and so we'll specify that. And the text, Android text, is going to be the name of the movie, which is at string, name of movie. You may not be able to see this too clearly. Can you see that? Because we have the collapsing toolbar layout of the image view right on top, so it's actually going to show beneath what we are having, but we'll get to see it later on in the course of this project. And let's continue. We're going to have Android text alignment. Let's align it. Alignment, center. We're going to have the layout margin top, 10 dp, and Android text style, cardboard, and the size 25 sp. Can you see that? Quite visible right at the center. That's what we need. Now the next will be for the title. That's the value of the title. This is like a text view to depict movie title is this, So now we just copy these out. Get to still make amends. It's not going to actually be the same. Firstly, we need to make amends right there in the ID. So this is what we actually set the value to, and the margin left is actually the layout margin left. We'll need a margin top of 3 dp, which will actually be layout margin top. At dimensions, layout margin top, can see that. And now the text will be 20 sp, just a little bold, and we're going to need a padding. Let's give it padding. We're not going to actually need any align center. Android padding, which will actually be from the dimensions as well. That's for the pattern layout. Pattern layout. That's fine. Match parent, wrap content, title, margin left. The text, we don't need a text because we're going to set a text to this. We don't need a text, we just need a text size. We need do you need a text style? Should we? No, don't let us make it bold since we have the upper one bold already, and we need it to sit below. Let's give it Android layout below, which will be at ID movie title to sit underneath this text view. So that's just what that's gonna do. Somewhere here you can see that. So but it's gonna be empty because we're gonna pass in a value into there. So we're going to have for others too. We're going to have for plot synopsis, we're going to have for user rating, we're going to have for release date and sort. So that's for title. Let's have for the plot synopsis, and let's have for release date and so on. Just have this done. I don't want to copy anything. I want you to follow along so that even if you don't have access to the source code, this alone will be enough for you. Match parent, layout height, wrap content. That's fine. And we're going to have Android ID plus synopsis, blah blah blah. Just let's copy this because it's going to be predominant to this. Match parent, wrap content. Now we need to check the ID. Plot synopsis, margin left 10 dB, perfect. Padding, we need a padding around. Let's just give it padding. Android padding, call it diamond. Padding layout, text, margin top 10 dB. Now this time it's going to be layout margin top. It's called the diamonds. It's diamond. It's going to be quite different from the first one. Layout margin top. And the padding, the margin left, which is actually layout margin left. The text size 20 sp, not 25. And do we need to make it bold? Plot synopsis more. Okay. This ID plot. Let's make adjustments. This is actually going to be for its other one. Margin left 10 dB. It's fine. And we're going to need a text to depict what we are doing. This Android text. Equals to. Okay, we have something of that nature, but don't worry. We're going to delete that, which is at string plot. Get to delete this, and text alignment center, margin top 10 dB. That's fine. Which is margin top 2. Let's pick the 2. It's just 10 dB. Text style estimated 25 sp for the text, so that's going to be in consistency with the other one. Now we're going to give an Android layout below. Layout below. Equals to ID and the title. So it should sit below the title. That's fine. So now we need its corresponding text view. Match parent, wrap content, ID should be changed to plot synopsis. The other one is plot. Margin left, 10 dp. That's the margin left. Padding for the padding layout. And there's margin top, fine. And it should sit below the plot, not movie title. I won't get that plot. That's fine. So we need another one. Instead, we copy this one, which is predominant, or let me just pick. Let me copy this. Copy this. Paste there. So we're going to have, for the user rating, match parent, ID, change this. I'll call that rating. Dimensions, margin left. The text should be string rating. Rating. Padding. Text alignment, sender. That's fine. Layout margin top, 10 dp. That's cool. Bold, 25 sp, and it should sit below title. Are we sure it should sit below that? No, it should actually sit below. This is user rating, it should sit below plot. No. Below plot, below plot synopsis. It should actually sit below plot synopsis. So this should sit below title. That means it's actually going to go at the top, you know. If it should sit below title, no, it should sit below plot synopsis. Let's make it sit below plot synopsis. That's fine. So we have that set, and we're going to have its corresponding text view, which we can easily bring from here. Copy. Paste that right there. Match parent. Now the ID is going to be user rating. User rating. That's fine. Dimension, margin left. Padding layout. Margin top. Text size, and it should actually sit below rating, below its parent, just rating. That's fine. That's for user rating. So we're going to have one more, which is the release date. So I'm still going to copy this. Copy. Paste the right here. Now we're going to change the ID to release. Release, margin left, or set. And the text should be calling the string release. Over there. We actually have that set. And the padding, do we really need padding? I don't think we need padding around all this. Just take away those paddings. This padding you're seeing right there. Take away. It's padding. And just make padding around it. That's fine. So now we're going to have text alignment center. We have that set. All right. Text style bold 25 SP. Now it's going to be beneath. Right. User rate. That's fine. So let's have this corresponding text view. This time match parent wrap content. Cool. We're going to give an idea of release date. Release date. Margin left or margin top. Pardon. Now we need a margin top. All right, we have that set. A padding of 16 dp and a text size of 20 sp, and it should sit below Android layout. Below at ID, so it should now sit below release over there. Cool. We have it set right, ready to consume. Now that speaks a lot about our data page. Data page is very important. You can see how long it might be. It's still going to pass in those values into the appropriate text string. So that's what that page is going to do. Now we're going to have our movie card. That's for the card view. Very important. We need it. Let's go layout resource, movie card. Now this is going to be a linear layout, which we have, and orientation, we're going to take that out. We're going to need let's say the height should be wrap content. While have Android adjust view bounds to true. Right, so we're going to introduce the card view. Android support version 7 widgets card view. Assign an ID called card view. Android layout width, match parent, Android layout height, match parent, Android layout gravity, center, Android layout margin. This time we call the dimensions card margin. We're going to have elevation. We're going to call, let's just give that 3 dp. And we're going to have a card view. corner radius. Enter. Oh, this is going to actually call the diamonds. Card movie radius. So you can decide to give a corner radius if you wish, but this is 0dp. So inside this card view, that's where a lot will be going on. Relative layout, match parent. So inside the relative layout, we first have the image view. Image view. Layout with height, match parent. The height is going to call at diamond movie cover height. I'm going to assign an ID. Thumbnail. And we're going to have a background. Where we call the attributes. Selectable. Item background borderless. That's it. We have Android. Scale type. Fit. X and Y. Coordinates. Beautiful. Now let's have the text views that will be housed side by side or right inside the card. The first text view is going to be layout with tonight, match parent wrap complete. Let's assign an ID, Android ID, title, and Android layout below, at ID thumbnail. Should sit below the thumbnail. This should be at ID. So after sitting below the thumbnail, we're going to assign Android padding left, which is actually calling the dimensions. Don't think it's tiring. Just specify it as you've created that right there in the dimensions. It's going to make it work easy. So you don't come here to start changing values. You just go straight to the dimensions to change it. That's the essence. Now Android padding right. Also the movie title. Android padding top. Also the movie title. And we're going to have text color. We have at color. Movie title. Android. Text size, which is going to be at dimensions. Movie text size, yeah, movie title. That's for the title of the movie. And we're going to have another text view. This time is going to be for the user rating. Follow. So let me just copy this. Just make change if need be. Ctrl V, I'll be user rating, match parent wrap content, fine. Sit below here, title. Padding left, movie title padding, cool. Padding right, movie title padding, and the padding bottom, we're going to need bottom. Instead of padding top, change this to bottom. And the dimension is going to be user rating, padding bottom. That's fine. Text color, we call color, and we call the accent. And text size is going to be the dimensions of the rating, user rating. Beautiful. So we have that set perfectly. Now we have our layouts, we have our values, we have our Gradle scripts set perfectly. From here, we'll be moving straight to the Java classes, whereby we'll be creating some sub-packages to house the adapter, the API, the model, and we're going to be having detail activity and also the settings activity. I will implore you to stand by. Catch me up in the next part to this video. It's actually going to be a playlist. I really want you guys to understand this fully. That's why I decided not to copy anything in. I'll be typing them, and I want you to learn from this a lot, and you will really appreciate learning from this bumper package movie application. Thank you very much for hanging out with me throughout this session. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Click on the subscribe button. Leave a comment at the comment section. I'll be right there to help you out with any of your queries. Catch me up in the next part of this tutorial. Don't go anywhere. Bye bye for now.